Too bad I'm fucking quarantined. Cause look at this skin. Hey beauties, it is me, your favorite quarantine bae, Jessica Nicole. I'm stuck in the house and I'm getting tired of this. I'm going a little crazy, a little bit. But I'm coming to you guys with my updated foundation routine. I tried my best to explain this to the best of my ability, to a point where I skipped out on every product that I used and went to talk about the brushes and how I use the brushes. Hopefully I did this to the best of my ability. If you guys want me to do this again and really explain it, I'll do it on live instead, so that you guys can be more interactive and I can figure out what I can help you guys with. But yeah, before I get into this video, I want to shout out my gang, because I love y'all and y'all love me and we love each other or whatever. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on all social medias. Enjoy. Alright, so before we start, if you hear anything in the background, I have a fan on me. It is super hot in my apartment. Ever since this quarantine happened, I don't know why my apartment is so hot. Two, I have my little mini fridge. She a little loud, a little bit. So if you hear that, that's that as well. So we're starting off with a freshly washed face. I washed my face. I have absolutely nothing on it. So we're going to go through the way that I prep my skin before we do the foundation. So I got me some cotton rounds. I'm going to go in with my micellar water on a cotton round, and I'm just going to clean off whatever excess oils or whatever excess dirt I missed while washing my face. So then I'm going to follow with my toner. As of lately, my toner has been the Thayer's toner. Alright, so I do this while my face is still a little damp. I'm going to go in with my hyaluronic acid, just 3 drops of it. My Drunk Elephant, I have the bigger size, but I'm trying to get rid of this. I've had this for a while. So this is my Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. I put 1 pump. 1 pump is more than enough, I promise you. And I don't know, this is the moisturizer I've been using for a little while now. I was using something else, but now I'm back to this. This is the Neutrogena Hydrogrip water gel. Then, I know this is a lot, but I go in with my Origins Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream to brighten and depuff. Love this eye cream so much. It does stick around for a little bit, but I do feel like I don't have to color correct when using this, so it's kind of why I use it. Alright, so I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit before I start my foundation, because I want it to like sink in, especially my eye cream. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best not to focus on the actual products, but how I'm using the products and what I'm using to use those products. Because I do not want you guys to think that, well, of course the product does matter, but use whatever you feel comfortable with. Everyone's skin is different, everyone likes different finishes, so I'm trying to focus more on the brushes and the sponges and how I'm applying that product. I think I've never done that in any of my videos, so I want to help you guys as much as possible. Alrighty, so we are going to start off with priming. Now, I tend to use a pore filling primer, and right now, just because I like how the finish is, I didn't want to, again, talk about product, but I've been using the Hydrogrip primer. Just because I don't like my skin to come off very matte, and I like how whatever foundation I use, no matter what it is, it sticks to the product. So I like it. And then I'm just going to go on with my pore filling primer. Now again, I have combination skin, normal and oily with pores. I don't do anything to the oily parts of my skin anymore because I just can't. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have stress pimples. This COVID-19 staying in the house, can't go nowhere thing got me stressed, okay? I want to go back to my normal life so bad. So the brush I'm using to apply my foundation is an E6. I love flat top brushes. I feel like it gives me more of an airbrush finish. Some people like the more rounder tops, but I love flat top brushes. And this brush is really soft. So I love that. So I'm just going to tap into my foundation. I usually put my foundation on the back of my hand. I'm going to tap and swipe while applying this foundation. Some people like to do this. I don't like doing that. And me tapping and swiping, I don't know, it just makes me feel better. I feel like I'm pushing the foundation into the skin. And also, I feel like I could control what I'm applying a little bit more. I'm also holding the brush right at the little crimp area, that's what it's called. I like to hold the brush there because then, I don't know, I feel like I have a little bit more control of what I'm applying. Because if I hold it down here, I'm going to put a lot on that does not need to put on. But this is all I put on. I'm keeping the rest of my foundation on the back of my hand because I am going to go back into that to blend some things out. So when applying my concealer, I tend to stay in the center of my face. So forehead, under eyes, above nose bridge, and above my lip. I tend not to put anything on my chin unless my foundation is a little bit off. Like today my foundation is a little bit off, but I'm going to use whatever is left back on my brush to like put on my chin. I'm going to spray some of my Morphe spray. I like how this helps my concealer blend out. So I'm just going to start with under the eyes first. I'm going to make sure I push that concealer where my dark marks are so that it covers it up. And I feel like when you do concealer above the lip, it kind of like evens out everything. It doesn't make you look crazy. Trust me, this process, every time somebody watches me do my makeup, they tell me my foundation process is a little crazy, but it worked. As I said, I'm just using the excess of the product to spread on my chin. Now, right now, I'm just going to leave this the way it is so that I could go ahead and apply my cream contour. Sometimes you just got to get the edges blended out, you feel me? Looks a little bit better. I still look crazy in my monitor, but I trust my process. So the brush that I used for my concealer was the E20, and for my cream contour, I'm using the E8. Now this time I'm not in a rush, so I could apply my cream contour the right way. I kind of do back and forth for a second just to get that move from wherever it's at. But if I'm using a different brush, sometimes I use a powder brush. I know that's weird, but it is the R10. Sometimes I'll use this to apply my cream contour. And actually, it applies it a little flawlessly. So I'm going back in with my E6 and my foundation brush, and I'm just blending out that concealer. Also applying some around my forehead just to take away some of that madness. I'm applying some in between my concealer and my cream contour, and I'm using tapping motions, holding the brush in the same place. Same thing on this side. I'm just tapping and dragging like I was before. Anywhere that feels a little unblended, you're just going to tap it there as well. I usually do it on the sides of my nose because it needs it. You know, I'm just gonna take my sponge and just blend out my concealer first. So now I'm gonna go in with my setting powder. And with my setting powder, depending on if I'm using nothing but brushes or if I'm using sponges. If I have a sponge, I'm going to use a sponge. If I don't have a sponge, then I'm just going to go in with my brush and set. But right now, the brush and the sponge combination is my thing. So I'm going to go in with my setting powder. I'm going to dip my sponge into it. It always picks up too much for me, so I'm just going to dip this onto a piece of paper towel, take off whatever's left back, and set under my eye. And when setting, I'm pushing all of this in. I'm pushing this completely into the skin. I'm not baking. I'm not doing any, well, some people consider this baking, so I guess, but I'm pushing this all the way in, like so. So everything is set. I look like a little powdered donut. I'm gonna go in with my big brush, my E41. I love this brush for powder. It just applies powder so nicely. It doesn't apply too much, and it's a heavy brush, so you get a good amount. Kind of like swirl in there a little bit and tap. I'm just tapping this where I did not apply any setting powder. Then I tend to like just blend that out a little bit. Don't forget your neck. Same thing. But with this, I'm tapping. I'm doing a tapping motion as well, and I'm holding it in the same place in the little crimp area of the brush. Blending. Now that you've set everywhere with face powder, because these areas, if it's not set, me personally, the powders that I use, like my bronzer and everything, tends to like cling to it, and it's harder for me to blend out. So I try not to leave a wet base anywhere. I try to set everything so that blending my face out will be beautifully done, instead of leaving like a wet base and then I gotta like really work hard, and then next thing you know, you have like a harsh bronzer or harsh contour or anything like that. Then I'm gonna go in with my little bullet brush. This is my M536. I'm gonna go in with my same face powder. So I have a setting powder and I have a colored face powder. I'm gonna go in with that on the same little bullet brush. I'm just gonna kind of blend out my forehead area, well, everywhere that I applied that setting powder. One, brings color back to the skin. You can see a difference between my forehead and the rest of my face. Brings color back to the skin, and I tend to not have flashback when I do this. I'm gonna do the same thing to my chin, bring some color back. So you see that color coming right back to my face. So I kind of still do the tap and dragging motion, but I'm holding my brush all the way towards the bottom, towards like the M on the brush, so that blending it out is a little bit easier. I'm not applying too much powder, and I can mess with the skin a little bit more. So now that those areas are blended out, before I do my under eyes and above my lip, I'm going to contour my nose. Now I do it before I do this powder because I always fuck this up. So I'm gonna go in with this E62 brush. Clearly I like the E brushes, right? So I'm starting from like where the end of my eyebrow is, and I'm just kind of tapping and dragging it down. Do the same thing to the other side. And with that same brush and that same powder, I'm just gonna blend above the lip first, bring back that color, and then I'm gonna do under the eyes. First I'm gonna tap under my eyes because I don't want it directly under my eyes, because I don't want any of that product to like pull away kind of. And then I'm going to just blend it in. So I'm kind of like tapping under the eye area. Kind of see the difference between both under eyes. It still looks highlighted, but it's not like this. I feel like I get like a stark white color underneath the eyes. And when I get to the nose, I'm just tapping that powder on top of it so that my nose contour doesn't look crazy. So now I'm going to go ahead and spray my face. I'm actually going to fix my edges and do my brows and something to my eyes off camera, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to finish off my face. So I'm going to spray my face now. Yes, I use a lot of spray. I go through a lot of spray, but it's worth it. Ooh, baby. So I think I let my face sit long enough because I was just on live and you know how that goes. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and bronze. The brush that I'm using is the M527. It is this big fluffy brush. As you can see, it's like tapered up to the center, and that's why I like it, because it tends to like get those little areas that I needed to get. So just going into my bronzer, I tap on both sides of the brush because again it tapers over to the top. Tap off that excess, and I kind of like do the face like that so that I can see where my cheeks are, and I just follow where the area is. I'm doing circular motions back and forth. Some people like to tap. I don't like to because I don't want any harsh areas. And I'll continue to blend this in until I feel comfortable with what I see. I bring it into my cheek a little bit because you guys know I don't wear blush. Make sure I get my forehead, and again, we're not tapping because sometimes it may just apply a product in one area. Because we cream contoured, I feel like we don't have to powder contour. Powder contouring is when I'm going out, and I need people to see this. Otherwise, bronzer it is, and I think bronzer is all I need. Alright, last thing is highlight. I think highlight is pretty basic for you guys, so I don't go too crazy on it, but this is a crown brush. This is the C330. It's actually an eye brush that I use. If not, I go on with the M451. I love this brush, but the brush is falling apart, so I'm not using it today. And literally do like a back and forth motion, just taking my time going up. And that harsh line that happens, just try to blend that out. Alright, back to the bronzer. I just use that because whatever harsh line that highlighter makes, I just want to blend that out a little bit. And I'm just going to spray my face again. Yes. Sometimes I may tap the sides of the highlighter while my face is wet. This is my skin. Sorry if you see me looking like that way. My viewfinder's over there, and I look really good in my viewfinder. This is my foundation routine, and if I'm not doing anything crazy, I skip the cream contour, but yes, I do everything else, especially go in with the foundation to blend out outside the concealer. But this is what I do for foundation. Those of you who are super oily and cannot do all of that spray, you can skip out on it. You can set your face with powder before doing your foundation like Jackie Aina does. But me personally, this is what works for me. My skin looks beautiful. It doesn't look so dry. I actually like this. So yeah, this is me. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always ask in the comments down below. I will answer. I will answer. Okay. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on all social medias. I'll see y'all later or whatever.